You might be aware what's going on in the world right now as COVID-19 is rampaging through every part of the world and is making the normal day-to-day life a bit of a problem right now as the governments worldwide are shutting down their countries and prohibiting places or events where people are gathering at a natural pace. And we have seen this even in a corporation level where Bushiroad decided to postpone the BCS of Belgium and outright cancel the BCS of Chicago. But today, we've got even bigger bad news as they outright cancelled quite a lot of BCSs.
Stand up! Vanguard!
Hey Cardfighters, today is maybe not of my most happiest videos to make as it's gonna be somewhat of a Debbie Downer, but at the end of the video I want to end up with a high note and more of a positive message. So stick around as there are some interesting things that I want to share with you guys that you might be interested in. But let's dive into the actual updated news, and you might already be aware of what's going on right now. And Bushiroad decided to take a couple of extra steps and extra measures to ensure our safety as players, as a community, and that's their responsibility. And at the same time, they have no choice to doing this as they also need to abide the laws and rulings set in place by the different governments of all the different countries involved. And what I'm referring to is that Bushiroad outright cancelled the next couple of BCSs that's going to happen this month, next month, and even leading into May. And that means that quite a couple of BCSs are now officially cancelled. And those are USA, Illinois, Mexico, Mexico City, USA, Georgia, Canada, Ontario, USA, New York, United Kingdom, Cardiff, France, Movo, Portugal, Lisbon, Philippines, Manila, Indonesia, Jakarta, and finally Australia, Sydney. So meaning if you are from those regions or you were planning to go to that specific BCS, you might want to change your plans, as if you're from the neighborhoods, you probably can just stay home or do something else. And if you're planning to travel, there's a highly likely chance that you cannot even travel, as some countries are just outright closing their borders and canceling any type of flights. So you might need to look into that. That's probably not gonna happen anymore. And there is a highly likely chance, as things are progressing, that even more BCSs are going to be cancelled. So if your BCS isn't on this specific list, don't just write it off that it's gonna continue, that it's gonna go as it is, as there is a possibility that this will prolong even beyond May. So be aware, check your dates, keep every possibility open, and don't just assume that it isn't going to happen. Be prepared for the worst. But this wasn't the only thing that they are doing. They also outright stopped and cancelled any normal weekly and monthly in your local shop tournament, as they just cancelled all the shop tournaments for April and May. Meaning the next coming 2 months, Vanguard is gonna go on a slow pace, as this means we won't have an actual place to play where they're going to hold officially sanctioned tournaments. But to be fair, in most countries, at least here in Europe, there is a high likely chance that your local game shop can't even open, as they are forced to close it down or shut it down, or in some capacity don't allow for tournament plays or just being able to play. It depends, of course, from which country you are in the world, that this measure might not be as severe as I'm just stating, as at least this is the case that it is in Europe. As in Europe, things are going to shut down very quickly, especially in the Netherlands and in Italy and in France. We're seeing this kind of closure on a rapid pace where the only thing we can do is go to the groceries, go to our work, and in some cases not even go to work, and we need to work at home if possible by the government. So yeah, it's gonna be a rough time for this moment. And this might not be that ideal for Vanguard as a game to sustain it, as we as a community, as a game, are basically thriving on the fact that we are able to play the game. And in this capacity, that's not even likely to do, and it sucks, because especially now with BCSs that should have been going on at this point, these are one of the highlighted moments of the year where we can go to these BCSs and play the game that we like and share the experience with other people all across the globe or your continent, and have those interactions with people you might not even see on a day-to-day basis and only at a specific events. I mean, I even showcase a big portion of the rewind of 2019 about these regionals, about the BCSs, because it's such a significant part of the game. And it sucks that there's a highly likely chance that Springfest outright will not happen this year. Maybe if we're lucky, the last couple of events at June can still go on if this virus is somewhat contained by that time, but we have no guarantee that will be the case. There is also another thing that we need to keep in mind, as they also announced that some products will be delayed in some capacity, as they announced that products from Cardfight Vanguard Special Series Colorful Pastril, the supply gift set, so that special set that was due, I believe, this month or beginning of next month, that's gonna be delayed. And also something for Y Swartz and Buddy Fight, but that's not really what our interest lies. But they also explained that it's very likely that the chance that products after that might also suffer some delays, but there isn't exact confirmation that will be the case. So it's likely that extra booster set 13, the Astral Force, can be delayed, and same can be said for the trial decks for Try Free, as well as the next stage extra booster set. How that will impact the game in sales, and how that will give us as players the opportunity to play these cards or get access to these cards, we don't know at this stage. As for, especially for European players with stores shutting down, not being able to play to them, it might be hard to get our cards. And also at the same time, and this is discussed in other TCGs, I've seen this discussed to a great extent in Yu-Gi-Oh, for example, as secondary market is a big thing. For some people, there might not actually be a reason to buy these cards, as there are no actual tournaments to play. So what's the point of buying cards if you cannot actually use them? I know that in Vanguard, at least a lot of players that I personally are familiar with, is that they don't really necessarily care for tournaments. They just want to buy the card because they just like the clan and want to play the game on generic sense. And I think that is going to be Vanguard's saving grace to an extent, as clans are supported in different waves, and players of that specific clan want to get those cards anyways. I, as a Gear Chronicle player, still want to get the Chronofang cards, even though I might not even use them in a tournament, because I want to play those cards. I want to possess those cards as a Gear Chronicle player. So that might save it in some aspect. It depends how the next coming weeks and months are going to happen, what this could do for our little game. And I think, even though this might sound weird, I think it's a good time to also keep an eye out on other card game communities. See what's happening in Magic, see what's happening in Yu-Gi-Oh, see what's happening even in Buddy Fight and Y Swartz, so we as a Vanguard community can better prepare ourselves for what might happen to us, as we are in this together. But enough about this doomsday scenario thinking and about what the repercussions of this is, because it is a serious topic to talk about. But with that said, I personally feel some kind of responsibility to do something for this community. And the reason why I feel somewhat responsible is that I, as a content creator, have some kind of reach within this community, and people are seeing this type of videos and seeing what I'm saying. So if I send a more positive note or a positive message throughout the community, this might have a positive ripple effect throughout the community. And this is what I was feeling with Different Fight's latest videos about what he loves about Vanguard, also his personal story. That's why I made my own videos about what's my top 10 things, what I love about Vanguard, or my 10 things about what I love about Vanguard. And I want to keep that trend going, especially in these times of hardship, you could say. But it's really hard to think of video topics or specific things to talk about now, because right now at this time, as I explained in the video, hype might not be as high as usual per game, and with the delay of certain sets, that can also mean that reveals might also slow down from Bushiroad sides, as if we're going to get delays, who knows if Japan is going to delay on their own sets. Currently that's not confirmed yet, so I want to search out for different video topics or different video ideas to do, as I was planning to do more card fights, to reintroduce that onto the channel, to have gameplay footage of different decks. And the original planning was that to do around maybe Astro Force or Try Free, once as I have cases orders of that set, of course because Gear Chronicle, but because of the whole virus and social distancing in effect, I cannot really meet up with my friends to do this kind of things, as that's not really a clever thing to do. So I need to come up with something else to make some interesting or funny or entertaining content for you guys. So I can use all the help for that. So what my question is to you guys is, let me know in the comments down below whatever type of suggestions or video ideas you like for me to do on this channel. And this can be all kinds of things. This doesn't have to be something that I already did, but with a different topic. This could be a whole new type of video structure, or maybe just a single off video. And just to give an example, I have an entire Cardfight Vanguard collection from back in the day till now in the V era. Maybe I could do a video or two, because it's quite big, about my personal collection, where you guys can see what I've collected in the past few years about Cardfight Vanguard. So you can see all the older cards to the newer cards and what I collected over all the time. Maybe I could do a video in the same style as Different Fight about my experience within the game, some crazy stories that I had, as I have some crazy stories about what happened in the past 3 to 4 years that I played this game. So leave in the comments down below any type of suggestion. Maybe you've seen something on another channel and like, I would be interested in your personal spin-off of this, or your variant with a Vanguard topic around it. So basically, the sky is the limit. And especially in these times, we need to entertain ourselves, as for some people, we're locked up in a room. I want to keep this community, and especially this game, make it through these hard times, as we have no clue what's gonna happen in the next coming weeks and maybe months. And I think I have some kind of responsibility to do at least something to make things a little bit bearable and a little bit more entertaining for you guys on the other side of the planet that might also be stuck at home, that are now, because of social distancing, forced to stay home as much as possible. So let me know in the comments down below any type of interesting idea or suggestion that you like me to do, and so you can see on this channel. And who knows, maybe I'll work it out, maybe it's possible, maybe not. Maybe it could be something that I will do way past in the future if I have some kind of capacity or the resource to do something like that. So expect some unusual and weird videos in the coming weeks. But of course, we're gonna continue our usual programming, as we still got set reviews and deck spotlights as well as budget decks to talk about for Team Dragon's Vanity. And then when that wraps up, we still got Astro Force, and at the very least it looks like we're still going to get the full release on normal schedule for the next stage booster set, as well as the free trial deck, so we can still then go into that. And maybe we will have enough things to talk about when this whole mess ends. And I hope that this is gonna be the last negative video that I'm gonna make. Probably not, because there still are more BCS that could potentially be cancelled. But let's hope that this is the last video, as I rather do not make these videos that are more on the negative side. So thanks for watching, and as always guys, I'm Mr. Time Leap, and I see you guys in the next one!